Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Veg Networking Canada, where vegan plant-based companies connect and collaborate. It is important to honor, acknowledge, and respect that many of us are located on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories across our great country here in Canada. Today, we have a special guest with us, coming to us carrying degrees in history and social work, a champion for sustainable and affordable cosmetics, and she's on a mission to spread the news about meaningful beauty and mindful living. Veg Networking Canada is pleased to introduce the co-founder of Marinela Makeup. Welcome, Lise Kubanowski.
Thank you.
Well, Lise, why don't you tell everybody here, our audience, of course, like we said, vegan plant-based companies, we're interested in that world. So tell us the story of why Marinela Makeup is a vegan plant-based company.
We decided if we were going to start a company that we wanted to be ethical and we also wanted to be plant-based because there's no need in 2025 for anything to be tested on animals. Back in the day, I used to be quite involved in the makeup era. Back as a teenager, I was an office manager for a spa, and I used to do a lot of research. That was my thing. And I used to read about how makeup is made. And when that report came out a few years back from the UN about how makeup producers now were still creating cosmetics, I was horrified. The working conditions of kids, that they were still using children even today, the way they were mining to get the materials to make the cosmetics, the way that they were forced, like the labor to be used for it, the ingredients that they were sourcing, it was just, again, I was in shock. And then just the materials and the way that they're putting it all together, it just to me, it just seemed wrong altogether. And I'm like, no, this is all wrong. The fact that they're still testing on animals in this day and age when we know there's better ways of doing it. And we had to be different and we had to do it the right way. So for us, if we're going to do this, we're doing this the right way. We also want something to be better quality. And we knew that plant-based was the way to go because plants heal us. The other ones do not. And with the way that I was reacting to cosmetics that were made the old way, I knew that this was the right way of doing it.
Ah, and so were you always an entrepreneur, or what was the story of you embracing entrepreneurship?
Well, this actually came as basically an ode to our daughter. Now, my daughter is 13, was 13 at the time. And when she was 13 years old, she really wanted to wear cosmetics. Now, she was trying to fit in at school. And when you're 13 and you're a girl and you start watching these influencers online on TikTok and such, they keep on telling you, oh, you have to go to the store and you need all these products, right? So I'm sure you've gone to the big stores if you have daughters that age and you see the little baskets, and next thing you know, they're filling it up with the primers and the moisturizers and the foundations and everything else. Well, my husband and I were like watching horrifying, and the piles were adding up, and I'm doing the mental math here. So I'm like, okay, how much is this going to cost us? And my husband's like all thrilled because he's like, my little girl's growing up. And I'm like, no, this is not right. Let's check out how much this is. I'm the practical one. And I looked at her and I took her aside and I'm like, sweetheart, I love you, but I'm not paying $300 for this. Like, no, you don't need all of this. Like, what is this for? Well, I need a primer, and then I need a moisturizer. I need the foundation. I need this. And I'm like, no, you don't. Who told you need all of this? She's, well, these influencers. I'm like, no, put this all back. We need a better way. That this is ridiculous. This is for a month. She's like, 3 weeks. I'm like, no, put it back. So she was pretty angry, needless to say. We got into the car and I told her we're going to the regular stores. Let's just see what there is. So we go to the store. We looked at other things, and I told her, well, let's just see what there is first. We looked at the regular grocery stores, and I wasn't thrilled with the selection there was. But we said, okay, let's settle on this, what they consider to be quote unquote clean makeup. So we took it and we got home. And then just to appease her, I bought clean makeup myself. I put it on my face the next morning and my entire face burnt. Like, I'm talking, I had first degree burns all over my eyes, my cheekbones, everything. So the first thing I did is I ran to her bedroom and I told her, do not put this makeup on. It will burn you. So she said, okay. And she said, I won't wear anything. I'm like, fine, do not put it on. I wrote a letter to the cosmetic company and I told them, why is this product burning me? And then she went to school, she came back, and I told her, we need to find a better solution for this makeup. You want to wear it. I have no objections to you wearing it, but we have to find a better solution to this. Every cosmetic line, and we had done a research that night, and for a week, every line we had looked at was using the same ingredients, the same products, the same, like everything, the same processing unit. And we're like, all of these contain harmful chemicals in them, which was why we were reacting so badly to all of them. So then my daughter and I looked at each other. We're like, well, that's it. If we want to do something, we have to do it ourselves. I'm like, exactly. So then we started on a hunt for, let's do it ourselves. So we wrote to all the labs that we could maybe get some samples on that we created online. So that's what we did. We tested several labs, and then we found the one that we really liked. So the minute that we found the lab that we really liked, we tried the foundation, we tried primers, we tried everything. And they were vegan, cruelty-free. They had the certifications, everything. My skin immediately started healing. And I'm like, okay, this feels great. It felt luxurious, and two, it was affordable. Because as a mom, I wanted to make sure that if we're going to create a beauty line, that it could be affordable for kids her age, that if they're having to babysit, that they could use their own babysitting money to purchase the products, not just like go to their parents and say, Mom, buy me this, that they can go online, they can purchase it on their own, because now bank cards for kids, they have like the debit Visa thing, so it's way easier for them to order it. They can get it at their home, it's easier, and they could do it with the parent there, and they could see what's in it. And more importantly, on our website, all the ingredients are listed clearly as to what we have in it and how to use it. So the kids know exactly what's in it, how to use it, and when they need to reorder. So I'm like, okay, this is a lot better for us. So ever since then, we haven't had a single issue with our skincare. I'm telling you, our skin's been better. And now all my friends are using it. Her friends are using it. And we never had an issue. So now we started going into skincare, because we also make soaps, and we're starting to make, like, we're venturing into it. And we've never ever felt better, but like we're clear about where our cosmetic is coming from, because now we know exactly where everything is sourced. Our materials are all sourced within North America. We're all made in Canada, and they're all sent from Canada. So we know where everything is.
Well, you kind of touched on it there, talking about maybe getting into some other product lines and things like that.
Yeah.
And then our next question for you is, where is your brand going in the future?
So right now we're exploring to expand to other areas. So now we're in Canada right now, but we're looking to expand. So, like, for example, we had a pretty exciting day yesterday. We had some products sold in Greece. So we're trying to expand ourselves into Europe. We've had quite a bit of views now from Australia. China has a huge demand right now. So we've had a lot of views from China and a lot of demand from China. So we're looking into the Middle East a lot, because there's a lot more demand there, because a lot of the customers now are wanting to know what's more in their cosmetics. Because like fast fashion, like if you guys have heard of fast fashion, like places like Shein, places like Cider, that made a huge splash 2 years ago of like the fashion that goes really, really fast. Like they make it fast, they ship it fast, but those things are starting to fade out. We're starting to see that regular cosmetics are starting to fade out as well, because more and more customers now are demanding to know where their cosmetics is made, how they're made, where they're sourced, and everything else. So for us, we're saying, okay, this is where we're sourced, this is where we're going, this is what we want to do. So with that taking place, we want to be more transparent with our customers. We want to be able to not only move into these new fields, in these new areas, into what's that called, the new markets, but we also want to maybe transform the area a little bit. So if we're able to sell in stores, we're looking into the possibility of one day of being able to have a refill section, so that you can go in, refill your bottle of foundations. You don't have to wait in the mail for it. Just go, put your combination that you need, boom, foundation in the bottle. You don't need to worry about throwing everything out. Saves the landfill, because we're also environmentally conscious here, because we don't want anything going back into the garbage. We want, or recycling, like we want things to be able to be rekept. If you look on our website right now, we have a lot of things called refills. So our blushes and our eyeshadows right now, we have a lot of refills, which means that instead of tossing the whole package out, you pop out what's finished, put the new one in. You don't have to toss the whole container out. So it's very little to recycle. So
Well, watch out, Greece and China and the rest of the world, I guess. And that's really cool what you're talking about. It makes me just think of when I go to buy my walnuts, I like to buy them in bulk, or, for a lot of plant-based people listening, your nutritional yeast, you kind of like to buy it in bulk. And it's interesting to think about that from a cosmetics perspective. I'm blind to cosmetics myself. I don't really know much about it, but what you're saying seems to make so much sense from an environmental sustainability standpoint. Um, Really unique because you kind of answered the next question, which is what are some transformations or trends in your industry? So yeah, that is, you literally use the word transforming. Apart from the refill sort of bulk buying experience that somebody could experience within an actual brick and mortar retail store, and what you're doing by actually selling the refills, very, very unique. Is there anything else that you would want to touch on as it relates to transformations or trends in the cosmetics industry?
I think it's just making people more aware of what's out there, because that's something that a lot of people are not aware. And I think that we want people to be more educated about asking the questions and saying it's okay to ask the questions. What's in here? What type of ingredients? Why did you use this type of ingredient to make this type of product? Like, is this available in this color? If yes, well, how did you get this shade of blue? Because a lot of people don't seem to realize that with vegan cosmetics, they keep on thinking, oh, you're going to get dull colors because you're not using artificial colors, or you're using this type of artificial dye. Well, we haven't launched it yet, but we have this blue that we're working on right now that is like so vivid. You would think that it's made with artificial colors. It isn't. It's so blue. It's like, I was just testing it 2 days ago and I couldn't believe how blue this thing was. It was just like vivid. I'm like, where was this when I got married? I needed this exact color. It's just incredible.
Yeah, and as well too, you mentioned that's why we frame the question as like not necessarily trends that are coming and going. We're not really interested in that. We're interested more in like a trend that becomes a transformation. And you touched on that too as well, in terms of consumer transparency. Like they're demanding transparency, and it makes me think of a quote I heard. I think maybe even just yesterday. It was something to the tune of, "We should not apologize for our skepticism." To your point, right? So
Right.
it's very, very interesting. So, next question for you. We've had people answer this from the company level, what's happening at the company, or maybe what the company is planning to do, and we've also had founders, co-founders, individuals answer this from a personal side, and it's around giving back. So, like, what does giving back or quote unquote charity mean to you and Marinela Makeup?
For us, giving back starts at the community level. And for this year, because we're still considered just starting out, we haven't been able to do as much as we wanted to do. But we have plans in the future to do what we want to. And for us right now, it means product giveaways. So we're working with Entreprenista. We just joined them. But we have a group of people right now that are going to be doing some shows for us. And they've asked us for donations because it's for a women's organization out there that's for, I think, underprivileged women, or one group of underprivileged women. I think they're trying to do some fundraising. So I said, fine. So it's just for 5 women. So I said that was fine. So I'm sending them a small package. But next year, our plans are way grander. Our plans next year is, because we're hoping to expand big time by next year. We have big plans, is to give a lot of money for, because I'm like, again, my social work background is coming in big time. We want to give some money or some products over to the homeless shelter. We want to give soap. And because a lot of people forget that there's a lot of calls, especially in Winnipeg, for gloves and socks and jackets and pants. But the one thing people always lack is soap. People still need dignity. We also want to give like packages of skincare and cosmetics to people looking for jobs. So we have a huge job center here. I want to give those on a monthly basis for people to go for job interviews so they're ready for it, so they feel more confident in themselves. We want to give things to women's shelters because I've been in an abusive relationship. I'm married now, but this is my second marriage. But in my previous marriage, I was extremely abused. So for us, a women's shelter is something that I would like to give back. So I want a woman to feel more pampered, and not just for her, but for the kids as well. We do have a few kid products in there. put a nice big package around for women so that they can feel better about themselves and to know that they're pampered, that they deserve it. Like, we want to be able to just give back to our community because the community is where it starts. And then maybe start encouraging other people in the community to start giving back as well, because it's one thing to write a check, but it's also another thing to give actual things to people. Because it's not just Christmas that you have to start giving things out. It's you have to give all the time. And that's something for us that means the most for us, is to give back all the time, not just a one-time thing.
Yeah, and the dignity part, I'm sure a lot of people felt that. And also, to your point about looking good, feeling good, and it helps you operate from just a different level. And so that makes sense. And one thing that I was thinking about too, I don't know exactly how it would work, but the sort of origin of the brand and some of the why that you started off on our very first question. I don't know how it would work necessarily, but if there's a way to somehow um, mobilize and activate the brand to reject animal testing. Like, it's one thing to do it and have that be part of the brand, but if there's a way to somehow align
We
with,
we do have Leaping Bunny certification on all our products. So
yeah, absolutely, yeah, and if there's just a way to further advocate against animal testing through your brand, I think that that would be quite powerful too. Um, so, in terms of resources for other entrepreneurs, business owners, whether that's books, podcasts, I don't know, groups, apps on your phone, whether it's related to finance, mental perseverance, whatever it might be, do you have any other resources for the entrepreneurs and business owners listening?
the first resource I really recommend people is, and I know it costs money, but it's really worth it, is a membership with Entreprenista, because on that site, you're going to meet women that kind of been through it all, and they all support one another. Like, there are people on that site. If you need money, boom, you're going to have a ton of people asking you, I'll help you find money. If you need a lawyer, boom, you're going to be surrounded by people wanting to help you. You need a collab, boom, you're going to have a ton of people asking you, I'll collab with you. Like, everybody's there just willing to help you, support you. You're having a bad day, they are there to help you, support you, and tell you to not give up. Like, everybody's been there. So that's the type of environment that you need to uplift you and everything else. They're not there to sell you anything. They're just there to, like, if you need to vent, they're there. I was in a session yesterday, and this poor woman vented for like a good hour, and I'm just like, it's okay. We've all been there. Scream away, and you know what? It helped. Or you could see the stress level of this poor woman just calm herself down after an hour. But yeah, that's one would be one good resource. Another one would just to give yourself some grace, like, just relax, breathe, and just like, I don't really read too much these days. I used to be a really big reader, but not anymore. The vision did that to me, but unfortunately, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's pretty clear, your daughter, I believe her name is Marinella, and that's why the brand is what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah. So your daughter's definitely going to be one here that I'm sure you mentioned. You mentioned Entreprenista and that group. But the question is, who and or what inspires you?
Okay, not just my daughter, but I also take my inspiration by a lot of women that have started with nothing or have the odds stacked against them and have overcome any obstacles to make it to where they are now. So I look at not just superstars, but I look at everyday people that have just basically, from overwhelming odds, have made it. I look at this one guy. I'm not sure if you guys heard of this guy. He lives in Thailand now. He's a Scottish guy, and I think his name is Neil Harbison. And he works in a dog rescue place called Happy Doggos, and he rescues dogs in Thailand. I am the one on the couch crying when a dog survives. Okay, I'm telling you right now. There's a dog he just rescued 30 days ago that was supposed to be put down because it had brain damage. He not only rescued this dog, 30 days later, this dog learned to just not just stand again, but to run in a straight line. I am telling this dog is now up for adoption. It's unfortunately not available in Canada, but still, I was with my husband like, we need to move. I need to adopt this dog. It was really sad, but yeah. Like, I mean, to go over there and to really make a difference like that and just in those animals' lives, it's incredible. Because he went there and like just his personal story is incredible because he was struggling with alcoholism when he did all of this and he decided to change his life to go and do that. And he ran a marathon 3 weeks ago to raise money to build a hospital because he made a promise to another dog that passed on to build a hospital in her honor so they could save more dogs. And they have saved so many dogs. It's been incredible. So he inspires me because it helps me. He started with nothing, and now look at him. He has saved so many dogs. He can do it. I can do this. And other people have gone through other personal struggles as well, and they've overcome those, and they've made it. So if anybody can do it, I can do it too. I am mentally strong. I know I can do it.
Yeah, I mean, you're speaking to a group of people who absolutely love dogs and dog rescues and animal rescues for sure. And yeah, it's hard not to be inspired by courage and perseverance and your quote unquote, I guess pun intended, like underdog story. Like that's hard not to be inspired by that. So you mentioned slow down, breathe, give yourself some grace. Which definitely falls into the last question we have for you, which is,
right.
Do you have any advice, lessons, or tips apart from resources? Right? Do you have any advice, lessons, or tips?
Absolutely. My big advice is follow your gut. If you get an email and it doesn't feel right, ignore it. We have been touched by there's so many people trying to scam you these days. And I have been there like 18 times this year alone. We've been lucky that none of them have really worked. Thank goodness. Sorry, water.
Of course.
But if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So follow your gut. So always double check with people. So for example, if you get an email or something and the email, it looks kind of right, but you're not quite sure, go do a deep dive on this person. And I'm talking, if you see this person's name, go on LinkedIn and check for this person's supervisor. Check with the original company. And I did that with one person. And this person on LinkedIn told me, yes, this is all legit. It wasn't. And I found out just before it became like dangerous, because then I went a deep dive on AI of all places, told me contact the police because the insurance policy they wanted us to take out was from an agency that was basically listed in the newspaper that it was not legal. We got contacted by the Hong Kong police. So we got really lucky that way. They got arrested. But it's just, you have to follow your gut and you have to basically do a deep dive on everybody. So only do business with people you feel comfortable with. If somebody is asking you for something in return that's just not quite right, don't do it. Be ready to walk away because this is your business. This is your baby. If you don't feel comfortable with it, be ready to walk away with it.
Yeah, and it's like a muscle, hey? Trusting your gut and you're in the muscle of intuition. The more that you listen to it and respond to it and trust it, the stronger it becomes and the more intuitive and aware you're able to pick up on these things. And it's definitely a great lesson, that's for sure. So Lise, is there anything in the conversation today that we've gone through that maybe we may have missed, or something that you want to touch more on, or any announcements or anything like that? Just kind of leave the floor open for you.
No, not so far. I'm pretty good.
Awesome. Nice and easy. Well, everybody, you can find out more online, marinellamakeup.com. I'll spell it out, the Marinela part. You know how to spell makeup. Marinela, marinellamakeup.com. And on Instagram, it's Marinela Makeup Official. And so everybody who's with us right now live, thank you for being here and spending some time with us today. Everybody who's going to be listening and or watching this on your own, thank you for spending some time with us as always. This has been another episode of Veg Networking Canada, where we had a great conversation with one of the co-founders of Marinela Makeup, Lise Kubanowski. Lise, thank you so much for joining us and spending some time with us here. And this will be our last episode for 2025. So thank you very much, everybody, for a wonderful year. And we'll catch you next year. Stay tuned, and we'll see you on another episode shortly. Take care. Bye for now.
Thank you.